Saving up to buy a home versus investing in your retirement. If possible, it's best to do both at the same time. But if not, which one should be the higher priority? To break it down, I'm joined by Yahoo finance reporter Jeanie on. Jeanie, thanks for being here.
Sure, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's put this on paper. What should we be focusing on first?
So retirement savings is the last thing anybody wants to do, but it's the first thing you need to do. So think about the sheer amount that you need in retirement. It's more than the cost of buying a home, raising a child, college education combined.
Wow.
So think about that when you want to delay retirement. It's tempting to want to save for a home first because it's nearer term, but any amount that you're missing out on in your earlier years, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars later on in retirement when you absolutely need it.
So should the value of your home be factored into your retirement planning?
So many people consider their home their biggest asset, so of course you'd want to factor that in. But remember, a home is not a liquid asset, right? So just because you pour thousands of dollars into it doesn't mean that you can tap that money when you want it at the value that you wanted. So to be safe, remember to try to factor in your home aside from retirement planning, because remember the housing bubble burst less than a decade ago. People are still underwater for that, so it's safe to think of it as an aside.
What's the market like now? Let's say somebody is on the fence. Would you recommend buying a home now?
It's not a simple, straightforward answer because you need to be on financially solid ground on so many levels. But right now, the national average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is 4%. Very, very attractive for first-time homebuyers or homebuyers in general. But you need to make sure that you have enough down payment, that you have enough liquid, that your debt-to-income ratio is healthy, and many, many other things. You have to live in that home for a chunk of time to make it worthwhile.
How much of a down payment should you have?
You should have at least 20% if you don't want to be penalized and taxed. So know that you can buy a home with less, but it's not optimal.
All right, let me read you this statistic. A recent report by Merrill Lynch found that only 10% of people believe they'll be able to save enough for retirement to last them 30 years. And 52% of millennials say a secure retirement is something only a select few can achieve. What do you make of those numbers?
People are just not saving enough in general. So when you think about the retirement statistics, it's even worse. It's more dismal. But one simple decision that you make earlier on, a money habit that you adopt into your everyday, can really impact your entire future when it comes to retirement because of compound interest. You know, your money, your interest is earning its own interest, it's snowballing, and any amount that you can put away is something that you have to do because sometimes you don't have control over when you go into retirement. You can't work until you die. You know, it's not optimal.
There's really a trickle-down effect.
There is.
With all of this. So you really need to put the 20% aside for the down payment. You have to think about the retirement. What else would you advise, especially millennials, as they're looking ahead to the future?
Start with a Roth IRA as soon as you graduate. That's what all financial experts will say. It's a tax benefit for you. You put your money, you get taxed right away when your income is low, you're making lower income, and you're able to put that aside for a chunk of time. If you're 25 and you put $5,500 away every year, that money can grow into $1 million when you're 65.
All right, that's something good to end on. We'll end
Yes.
right there. Jeanie on of Yahoo Finance, thank you so much.
Thank you.